Hello?
Grace! Grace!
Welcome back to the Nightmare Realm. If you're new here, my name is Merciless Ghosty. I'm a horror content creator that primarily focuses on games and film. 2026 is shaping up to be a horror fan's dream, as the lineups of games and movies we're getting is absolutely stacked. Today we'll primarily be focusing on the games, the potential video for movies coming down the line. We'll also be joined by a special guest who will be talking about some lesser known indie horror games that you should be excited about. That being said, let's get into it. Starting right off, for those who watch my content fairly often, no surprise, this is the game I'm most excited for in 2026, is Resident Evil Requiem. Resident Evil is my GOAT franchise. I have been playing since the PS1 days all the way through till now. I haven't played 6 yet, but I am currently doing a playthrough of all the Resident Evil games, so make sure you check that out. Resident Evil Requiem focuses on new protagonist Grace Ashcroft. She is the daughter of Alyssa Ashcroft, for all of you Resident Evil Outbreak fans out there. She is a part of the FBI, and she has to face her past in order to solve these mysterious murders that have been going on. I'm excited. This seems to be the horror-centric part of the game. I don't know much about her yet, but I'm excited to dive into her backstory more and learn what happened to Alyssa, and if there's possibly any more Outbreak characters or any returning characters coming besides who we're going to talk about in a bit, and how they kind of intermingle the past with going ahead in the future. And of course, that leads me to the next part, which is Leon, everybody's favorite Resident Evil character. Leon Kennedy is returning, of course. This is his first mainline game since Resident Evil 6, so non-remake Resident Evil game since part 6. This could also possibly be his last appearance, as the trailers have shown. He appears to be infected. He's also older now. He's not the same rookie, young, spry cop that he once was. Of course, everyone's excited to see Leon back. Who isn't excited to see Leon back? Leon is the GOAT of Resident Evil characters. I hope that they don't kill him off, but it would be cool if there is some like self-sacrifice thing, as the Capcom creators have said that they kind of want to move away from the original storylines. They don't have to keep tying in new storylines with old storylines, and how the number games go and convoluted timelines and all that stuff. So I hope they don't kill him off, but it would be cool if there is like a really cool send off for him. I wasn't a fan of how they did Albert Wesker in Resident Evil 5, so I hope we don't get something like that, and I hope they do this character justice. Also returning is our favorite location of the Resident Evil series, is Raccoon City. This is our first time back in Raccoon City since Resident Evil 3, when, if you know, you know. I'm currently playing through the game, so I don't want to spoil it for you if you haven't seen or know what happened. Resident Evil Raccoon City has been uninhabitable for many years, almost 3 decades now. So it's going to be exciting to see how they tie that in. Is it a big section of the game? Is it a small section of the game? Don't really know. One thing I want to add that I left out is that Leon's part of the game, as mentioned by the devs, is that it is going to be the action-centric portion of the game. So I'm excited to see how they mix and match the two and blend the two pacing-wise with horror and action. That has been both a blessing and a curse for the Resident Evil series. They kind of do this a lot where they try to blend the two, and it always not work out. Sometimes it works out great, sometimes it doesn't. Fingers crossed that they nail this, because like I said, this is the game I'm most excited for this year. The next up on the list is Hellraiser Revival. Truth be told, I'm not the hugest fan of the Hellraiser series in terms of the movies. I like the first two, but overall the series kind of takes a big dip down from there. But I think this could be really cool to transition to a game. It's a single player survival horror game. Almost looks like a Silent Hill type game, psychological horror, with the violence and the explicit content turned even way up from even Silent Hill. We know that Doug Bradley is back doing the voice. We know that Clive Barker is involved to some extent. To what extent, don't really know. Is he actually giving input, or is it more so him just attaching his name to the title to give it some weight? Either way, cool. I'm excited for it. What really excites me, well, I'll get to what excites me in a second, but one thing I wanted to touch on is the dev team. The dev team is Saber Interactive and Boss Team Games. They're doing Saber, not Boss Team, but Saber is doing another game on this list that I'll talk about in a little bit. But they also did Evil Dead the game and A Quiet Place, which I haven't played yet. I have played Evil Dead, but not A Quiet Place. I want to play it. I'm excited for it. Definitely gonna try and get that in before this game comes out. But what really excites me about this game is how cool it could be with the visuals and the level designs and the gore. Hellraiser, one thing it's always been strong for is the cool special effects with the visuals and different location set pieces and the gore. That's one thing it's always had going for it. I'm excited to see where they go, see what they do with it in terms of a video game. I think this could translate really well to a video game. What we know about the character so far is the character we following a main protagonist of Aiden. It is a male character that is kind of troubled, kind of similar to Julia in the original film. All we have about to go off of in terms of the character so far. As we get more info, I'll be covering it. But either way, I'm super excited for the visuals and see what they do with the gore and how they translate it from film to video game. This is one I'm very excited for. Next up on the list is ILL. Of all the games on this list, this one has me the most nervous for a 2026 release. This game was announced over a year ago now, and there hasn't been a whole lot of updates. I've even started following the dev team on social media, and there just hasn't really been anything to go off of. We got one trailer, and that trailer looks amazing. It's a single player survival horror game with grotesque looking monsters and body horror. It's kind of a mesh between the previous two games on this list. Other than that, I wish I had more to go off of. I'll cue some of the visuals up in the video, but fingers crossed we get more info in the coming months, because there's just not a whole lot to go off of right now, and development for this game is going really slow, so that has me nervous for a release for this year. But we get it. It looks so good, and I think you guys will be excited for it. So yeah, as we get more info, I'll be covering it on the channel, so stay tuned. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to my friend Mela and let her tell you about some indie horror games that she's excited about for 2026. Mela?
Hey, it's Melatv. I stream indie horror games on Twitch, and I'm always on the lookout for creepy, weird indie horror games, and honestly, 2026 is looking pretty good. So here are some upcoming indie horror games I'm excited to check out, and it's not in any specific order. First on my list is Shift at Midnight. Shift at Midnight drops you into a lonely overnight job where nothing seems normal for long. You're clocked in, the lights are on, and the rules seem simple until the clock strikes 12. Then you're screwed. Strange calls, shifting rooms, the subtle changes test how closely you're paying attention. The horror isn't about the jump scares, it's about dread, routine, and feeling that something is watching you work. Coming this year, Shift at Midnight proves that something, the scariest thing, is finishing your shift. Second on my list is Hellmart. You think working the night shift is mundane? Think again. Welcome to Hellmart, a 24/7 convenience store in the middle of nowhere. By day, restock shelves, hit your goals, keep customers happy. By night, everything changes. Doors lock, lights flicker, strange faces appear in the aisles, and survival becomes your top priority. Serve, hide, decide who gets in and who doesn't. Every choice could be your last. Hellmart is a mix of supermarket simulator, but more of a nightmare simulator. I think it's coming late this January. Should be fun. Last, but definitely not least, is Bendy the Cage. I can't get enough of Bendy and the Ink Machine franchise. Bendy the Cage drops you into the pit, a twisted prison full of ink-soaked nightmares and horrors beyond imagination. You play as Henry, stuck underground with no easy way out. Monsters lurk and steal shadows, experiments gone wrong stalk your every step, and your only weapon is an axe. Fight, evade, survive, and maybe uncover the dark truth behind the ink. This psychological action horror is coming sometime this year. So yeah, 2026 is shaping up to be terrifying, and I'm here for it. If you love indie horror, jump scares, or just watching someone panic on stream, come hang out with me on Twitch, and let's get scared together.
Thank you, Bella. I cannot wait to see you panic playing those games on stream. Everybody, go show Bella some love. I'll leave her channel down in the description or in a pinned comment down below. She's a dear friend, and she defines the term Scream Queen, so please go show her some love. Covered the solo nightmares. Now let's talk about the games that are going to ruin sleep schedules and make or break friendships in 2026. Let's talk about the multiplayer horror games. Starting off with Halloween. Outside of Resident Evil Requiem, these games have been in no particular order for which games I'm most excited for, but if I had to say, this one was probably my number 2. As you can see back here, I'm a big Halloween fan. I got the movies. The movies are also right there. I'm a big Halloween fan, big Michael Myers fan. It's brought to you by the same team that made Friday the 13th. It's a single player and multiplayer experience. The single player experience, you play exclusively as Michael, from what we understand so far. Not a ton of info, but what we understand so far. You play as Michael going through the town of Haddonfield, and you kind of fill in the gaps of what happened in the first movie, going through different locations of Haddonfield. It has multiple endings, so it has replayability. That, I feel, gives it a leg up on a lot of the other games that have been in the genre. The discourse online for this game has been pretty negative, understandably so. It's mostly DVD players saying the game is doomed to fail. And I mean, fair enough. Friday the 13th didn't last. DCM didn't last. Evil Dead didn't last. But I think this one might be different. Halloween has a serious built-in fan base, very, in some cases, toxic fan base. It is like the Star Wars of the horror community. So I think that alone, its built-in fan base that it's already coming in with, is going to give it a leg up on a lot of the other franchises. Some of the other franchises like Evil Dead, TCM, Killer Clowns from Outer Space are very niche. Friday the 13th was a banger, and so they couldn't release content for it anymore, and that wasn't the fault of the devs. Friday the 13th, if you know, you know. That's a whole nother story for a whole nother video. So you go through different locations of Haddonfield, kind of filling in the gaps of what happens in the first movie. And then the multiplayer experience is very Dead by Daylight, 4v1. Survivors try to alert the people of Haddonfield, and then you have NPCs, from what I understand, come and help you. So, and then Michael has to try and pick them off. So the more you can, the more you alert people, then the more the NPCs will help you out. And I'm not quite sure how you escape or win. What's the win condition exactly yet? They haven't revealed that. We're still getting information. I'll cover all bits of information as we get it. I'm excited. I'm going to cover and play the shit out of this game when it's released. So if you want to see Halloween content, make sure you go down and subscribe below. So we got one more game. We're sticking in familiar territory for this game that we just covered. Last but not least, John Carpenter's Toxic Commando. John Carpenter is my GOAT horror film director. Now he's diving into the world of video games. It's a concept that has been done time and time again. The co-op zombie shooter game. But I don't know, something about it just looks like so much fun. It's zombie co-op game with friends, and it's John Carpenter soundtrack. Need I say more? Are you not sold? Are you not entertained? Come on, you already know this is gonna be a blast. I cannot wait to play it. It actually comes out very soon in March, so right after Resident Evil Requiem, I'll be jumping right into this. So if you want to jump in, play some Toxic Commando with me, love to have you. But that's gonna do it for this video. I appreciate y'all for sticking around this long. Comment below and let me know some of your games that you're looking forward to. Did I miss any? I would love to hear your guys' list. The Nightmare Realm is our horror community. We talk about all things horror, games, movies, movie watch-alongs, weekly play-alongs in Discord, on Twitch. So if you guys are into that, go down in the description, check out my links, follow me on all my social media, stay connected with me. I'll see you guys next time. Don't wander too far, because this ghosty always remembers who entered the realm. I'll see you guys next time.